Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's the only place that you'll find our expansive resource library. Every form, checklist, visual and dialogue that you'll ever need to systemize your business. Available to edit in PDF to rapidly take your business to the next level. Welcome to High Performance, the podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, without a doubt, one of the greatest challenges inside of anyone's career is when they get frustrated performance. And you get this with a lot of developing agents and people that are trying to grow inside of their careers, and they're just not getting what they need. Maybe they're having trouble getting buyers to go to buyer appointments. Maybe they're not generating the market appraisals. Maybe they're just not winning inside that listing presentation. You must have had some of those moments, during the course of your career about being frustrated about where you're at and wanting to get off that plateau and start to climb towards the peak. What are some things that you would do in coaching your own team and working with other people inside of PPD to get them beyond that frustrated performance and get them back onto that winning treadmill?
Hi, Josh. Thanks for having me again. I see this a lot across all agents at different levels, and I think a few factors I look at is those agents that are sort of always up and down where they don't have consistency get that a lot. Also, agents that are trying to grow too fast get it a lot because they're frustrated. I want to do this, I want to do that. They're looking up to someone in their office or they've got these certain goals, but they're trying to fast track what they're trying to do. So they get frustrated and then they get aggravated, then they start talking to people the wrong way, their staff, their clients, and then that just sort of snowballs. So I think I look at, a question I got asked the other day at a podcast I did was, how do you, remain consistent? When you're consistent, you're not going to get frustrated. So that comes down to making sure you're doing everything that you should be doing as an agent every day. So prospecting, nurturing your database, past client calls, hot seller calls, buyer appointments, expired listings. If you're doing all those aspects every day, there will be something that drops. So it's about we lose a lot of listings. Our conversion rate's 65%. But, in the last week, I think we've lost 5 or 6, but we've got enough balls in the air, we don't get frustrated. So I think it's about having enough flow and balls in the air that frustration as you get busier will wane and you won't have that so much.
The big thing is always to think that maybe it could be an environmental change. Sometimes it's stand up and make the calls. Sometimes it's about go for a quick walk outside, get some sunshine, do something there. But it's usually your emotion and the energy of what you're putting out and you're getting frustrated by a particular situation. Have you ever had a situation where either a buyer or a seller is just really dragging on your energy where ultimately that campaign's not selling or someone else is frustrated or they're going through a very serious set of circumstances which is kind of pulling your energy back, and you've got to go and have a conversation and confront that before you can all of a sudden get your new energy back and get back moving inside of the marketplace?
Happens all the time, Josh. We're, with the amount of sales that we do, there's always one or two deals like that where they're draining. But the problem is when you deal with too much of that, you're going to get burnt out. So we sort of try and get rid of those vendors or not even work with them or cut them loose. And actually, sometimes when you say we're cutting you loose, we're happy to walk away, then that frustration from their side goes as well. So if you have the right setup to sell meetings, you're in control, you tell them about the trigger points, you tell them about what we're doing, this is how it's going to go, but if you want to do it your way, we're not the right agent. Generally when you push back on them, if you have it early on, and you set it up correctly, you're not going to get that sort of type of client because you're saying, hey, I'm controlling this. Listen to how we do it. We're going to do it the best way possible for you, but we're in control.
Sometimes, Alex, people are just not looking at the numbers right. So I've got this little spreadsheet at the moment where I have a look, how many sales do you want to make and how many listings do you need to get to make those sales? Because not everyone has got an 80 or 90% clearance rate, right? As you go into some regional markets now, it might be more like a 50% clearance rate at day 28. And then outside of that, how many listing prezos do you need to go to win a listing? Now, not many agents actually measure that number. They look at how many agency agreements they've signed, but they don't necessarily know how many listing presentations they went into on the annual basis. They might know this week, but not necessarily annually. And then the next one after that is that how many market appraisals do you need to get a listing? Now, you're getting caught into a lot of things. You're creating a lot of opportunity. You're talking to a lot of people. But some of the newer agents in your business are probably out there doing more market appraisals, trying to get in a door for people who are not necessarily sellers. Why is it important to have a look at those numbers to kind of work out, where the opportunity might be for the significant improvements inside of the business?
It just allows you to remain accountable, and you can then sort of dig deep into what areas you need to improve on and focus on it. And if you've got those numbers consistently in front of you, you're always going to be able to, to have something to look forward to. If it's not going right, then to deviate and make sure that you get it back on track.